State Library of New South Wales is displaying a Schindler list that saved the lives of 801 Jewish workers and inspired Tom Keneally to write his prize-winning work, Schindler's Ark. Dr. Olwen Pryke discovered the carbon copy of the list among the author's manuscript notes held in the library's vaults. Olwen, how did the State Library discover Schindler's List?
Well, it's an interesting story. We actually acquired Tom Keneally's manuscript collection in 1996, and last year we were thinking about possible collections for our Treasures Gallery, and it was suggested to me that perhaps Tom Keneally's manuscript might be an appropriate display object. So my fellow curator, Steve Martin, and I went down into Stack, and we were leafing through boxes of research material, and we came across a copy of Schindler's List. Oskar Schindler was a successful German industrialist. He had an enamelware factory in Poland during the Second World War and later in Czechoslovakia. And he came to realise during the course of the war that he had an opportunity to save the lives of the Jewish workers who he employed. So the list actually documents the workers who were working at his factory during that time.
When you're working through this material and you stumble across this list, and I imagine it's a little bit obvious, what you've stumbled across, what's your reaction at the time?
Well, it's funny. Steve, the co-curator, was very, very excited, but I'm a trained historian, so I was a little more cautious and, happy to do a little bit more research about it. But it is very exciting, but also very, very moving, because it represented life to the people on the list, and those not on the list obviously didn't survive.
And what sort of information is contained in the document?
Well, it's quite a simple document. Perhaps I should show you now. It lists names and birth dates and occupations for the workers in Schindler's factory. Of course, many of them are fictitious. This was one of the ways Schindler was able to save his workers, by giving them skills that were integral to the war effort, but possibly they didn't have them.
The list can be viewed at the State Library of New South Wales until November.